and good evening. Welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show, broadcasting live and on demand on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, YouTube, and of course, Facebook. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, September 7th, 2022, and me, I'm your host, FayWhat. I'm just filling in for Al Ferguson. He will be back next week, unless I keep him in the trunk of my car. No, he's not in the trunk of my car. He's in the glove compartment. Anyway, we are going to laugh and play through our LGBTQ plus world next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
It's Happening Out is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America. Hotspots magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 36 years. Yeah, just about my age, more or less. And Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. So let's start by meeting tonight's host. Let's welcome Dan Rios to the show. Whoop, whoop! He is the director of LGBTQ plus marketing for the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. Dan is considered one of America's top experts. I consider him the top expert on LGBTQ plus travel and tourism.
I thought you were bottom.
Oh, welcome, Dan!
Wow. Somebody had to break the ice, so you said go light.
How are you, Dan? What's going on, Papi?
Great to be here, and I am your LGBTQ source for everything Miami. So visit us at visitmiamilgbtq.com and get in touch with me.
Listen, everything is coming up soon, right? Like we had like 2 weeks of like nothing in Miami and Broward, and now everything is coming. Like, you know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. All the amazing circuit parties, the galas are going to start soon. I mean, where do you
Celebrate
find time?
Orgullo is
Celebrate Orgullo is coming up. Like, how do you find the time to just have like a personal life, Dan?
I'm spread thin, but I love it. I love it.
I love it. So that's your secret for staying thin.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. I'll take that up maybe. Let's welcome next up Glen Weinzimer. So Glen is the founder of the Smart Ride, the second largest HIV/AIDS fundraiser of its kind in the country, and owner of Bona Italian, my favorite Italian restaurant, by the way. Yeah, right there, endorsed by FayWhat.
What?
Welcome, Glen. How are you? How are preparations going? What's going on?
For pizza or just in life?
God, it's just that you're always so damn busy. So for everything.
For everything, everything's been like crazy busy. Smart Ride is in its final. We're like 70 days away from the actual event, so it's making me a nervous wreck. Lots of things that still need to happen, but I'm excited. The community's coming together, and we've got a fundraiser this coming Saturday. We're going bowling. We did a pool party 2 weeks ago, and then of course we've got our October 8th event here with the Ideas Festival.
Yes.
That's coming up, so I'm excited about that.
Fantastic. So folks, make sure that you get your tickets to the bowling event. Can I get those things at the side that the kids get so I don't
The bumpers?
Go into the gutter?
Bumpers. Or
Okay.
bumper guards.
Okay, bumpers.
Sure, you can get that.
I think of bumpers.
Sometimes I just put people there.
Oh, that works even better.
It's great for dental work too.
Ouch.
That's exactly what they would say.
Ouch. Well, make sure that you follow Glen on all social media to find out what's going on. He's always got something going on and some great fundraisers for before the Smart Ride officially will kick off. When is that again?
November 18th and 19th. Orientation Day is November 17th. Thank you for asking.
So do you even practice?
What?
Do you have to practice? Like, this is
Well, yes, I
here
have
to
to
Key
practice.
West.
Are you riding?
Maybe to lunch. The first day. I made a promise with all the other execs when I kind of cornered them at closing ceremonies last year, and I said, they've all just agreed to ride next year. And then I got, no, we didn't. And I was like, yes, you did. I heard you. So I said I would ride to lunch. We'll see.
Well, how about getting those little, those little baskets that they put on the side of bikes, and we'll throw you in the little basket, and then you could ride down to
like
Key
a
West.
Oh, like
a sidecar.
A sidecar, like they had it in Germany. No.
Okay. Well,
No.
I tried, folks.
No, because I'll be on the wrong side, and they'll just whoosh right, and I'll
Can
no.
you imagine Glenn in that little car on the side with like a big old hat on and just like
And a scarf blowing in the wind.
Scarf, like holding onto his beads, and, All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue by welcoming Gregg Shapiro. He's written 143 books, and I have read none of them. The author So he has written 8 books, 8 incredible books. And he's also an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and music reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ plus and mainstream publications and websites. Welcome back, my friend. How are you, Gregg?
I'm good. I interviewed, Nena may appreciate this, I interviewed Ultra Nate.
Wow, old
earlier
school.
today, because she's going to be part of this show at the Broward Center where it's Franz Jolie and the Hughes Corporation and all these like disco stars. And she was a joy.
Was she?
Such a doll.
What did you ask her? Anything fun? Anything sexy?
She has a new record out, so we talked about the new record and we talked about Free, her like classic hit.
Sing a little bit. Sing it.
Oh, I don't sing.
Sing it.
You're free.
Oh, okay.
To do what you want.
You can always
There you
count
go.
on it. You can always count.
Thank
Your
you.
life.
That's right. She was great.
You said record. Does it also come like on a VCR tape, or does it come on a
well,
VHS? Or
Honey, all the kids are listening to vinyl.
I know.
It's all about the vinyl.
Listen, my stepdaughter had the audacity to tell me, this sounds better, Faye. What?
Oh.
And I went, that's what I did. Now, how does it sound now? Scratch. How does it sound now, Allison?
make
No?
it skip.
All right, now finally, let's welcome DJ Nena, a homegrown Garden State girl and military veteran, and now a local DJ and music producer for the LGBTQ plus community.
Yes.
Welcome back, DJ Nena. ¿Cómo estás, mi amor?
Hola! Like I said, it's DJ Nena on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. We're here to break it down. You can come see me at Lit Bar every
Lit.
Friday night. And, thank you for bringing up, Ultra Nate, because I play her every Friday night at Lit.
I wish I could have told her that.
Yes, we celebrate 80s, 90s, and 2000s video flashback party every Friday night at Lit Bar, and now we've opened up Saturday nights to Revolution Saturdays, which is now hip hop and salsa and Latin, a little bit of everything. And coming very, very soon on Sundays, it's going to be Sunday Tiki Fun Day, people.
Oh, my
Mi
goodness.
gente, yes, man.
Are you
It's going to
kidding
have a lot of different kinds of island music. Everybody's going to party and be in
Why are
harmony
you talking
together.
like that? It sounds
I
like
do
my
not know.
uncle's going to be hosting a party.
Because I want people to feel included. No.
Kind of little
All
Gilda
people.
Radna. Oh, you
All
must
people
see
should be
that.
included in this, man.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm saying?
but listen,
Little thing.
It'll be a lot of
congratulations.
fun.
Congratulations on everything going on at Lit Bar. Like, when you got there, like, you've changed those nights. Like, and I'm
been
telling
a
you,
lot
like,
of
corazón.
fun.
And I love to see those videos. Don't you miss MTV when it had music videos, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what everybody at this table grew up on. And so you go to Lit Bar and they'll play these videos on the screens. And you're like, I want to dance, but I want to watch the video. I couldn't do both.
Oh, wait a minute. There's no videos on MTV anymore?
So,
like
when was the
dumb
last time you
stuff.
watched MTV, Poppy?
Like
all it
Jersey
is
Shore.
is 15 and pregnant, and pregnant OGs, and marriage counseling for idiots. I don't know, like it's just the dumbest shows are on MTV. There's no
So
music
bad.
anymore.
Yeah.
I think they played the Beyonce song "Break My Soul" once, and that was it. Yeah.
Sad.
No, I'm
Sad.
sorry. Yeah. it is.
Well, but
All right. Well, let's begin the show. Who needs a drink?
all of us.
I'm ready.
Listen, the more
I'll
that you
just hold
drink, the
it.
prettier I get. So keep on drinking. Yay! And for all you
Heck
folks
yeah,
at home that
fine.
think that this is not real liquor, it really is. I'm going to take Dan's because mine is actually just cranberry juice because I got a UTI. No, because I don't drink, and you folks know that. But Dan's is straight up like. They fix cars with this crap.
Rubbing
Like, holy crap.
You're inhaling my alcohol.
I'm sorry, but I only dropped one little hair in there. But like, oh
It
my,
smells more like desperation.
does it smell like
It
that?
smells a little bit like desperation.
smell like
It's got my name on
Does
it.
that smell like Wow, Dad. All right, well, everybody's got the drinks in front of them. Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. Yes, I know, Dan, you'd swallow a lot of things. I get it. We invite you at home to play along with us, okay, as I make 6 statements to our host. If they agree with the statement, they take the shot. If they disagree, well, it's going to be a very long night for Miss FayWhat. All right, everybody ready?
We are ready.
Ready.
Vamos con eso. Okay, then let's play I'd Swallow That. First, it's happening out. Season 4 is just 2 weeks away, and the new season will feature a new permanent cast, updated segments, and a different tone. Tonight, we're going to get on those nights, we're going to get wilder than we have in a long time in celebration. So, question number 1, I'd swallow that. I'm ready for the new It's Happening Out and for things to get crazy.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
How exciting.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Cheers, queers.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not on that.
No.
So,
I'm not either.
So all four
Neither
of you
am I.
are seat holders. But that's me. I'm on it. FayWhat? Yeah. So I'm on it. Al Ferguson is on it. Like I came, like, you know, they gave Al the job and they're like, I'll
love
only
that
do it if
picture.
Faye comes with me. So that's how I got the second seat. But there's Auntie Mame that's going to be joining the mix.
I love it.
She is so much fun. And there's Cameron Glass that I really don't like, and I don't know why he got on the show, but he's on. Elimination Onyx, who is one of my favorite people on the planet, and he's gonna get me like more into like the fetish and the leather community, which I've always been super interested in. You know, like our LGBTQ plus community has little subdivisions, and they're also welcoming. You know, find your nearest one and explore. Right? Who's next that we have? Oh, that's Trini Daddy. Ooh, he's cute. Okay, that's all. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is.
look at
That's a
Max.
good picture of
I tried to
Max.
imagine him
great.
naked.
Like all posy.
You can see the
Stunning.
peach fuzz still. He's
Poor
so
Max
young.
has been fighting for LGBTQ plus rights so much this last year that he's aged like 30 years. Like literally, he looked 17 when we saw him, and now he looks 40.
Oh, he's cute.
But he's
He's
adorable.
doing good work.
Mark Moffat, he is also considered a master, right? And I'm gonna learn more about that. I'll be I'll be a slave for like one day, or maybe two.
Oh,
He's
that kind of
cute.
master.
Yeah. And he like teaches classes in.
Oh.
We heard that.
Done that once.
They just
I've done it, so I'm all about it. I've done it. I've owned it. I could, you know, be a key speaker. I'll be a keynote speaker for you, Mark Moffat. One of my really close friends, Mr. Cal Gajraj, is bringing it in with the business side and the entrepreneur side and the theater background that he's got. We know Jonathan Casanis. He is very big on TikTok videos and social media. He's all over the place. He's
Funny
from
guy.
Yeah.
very funny, very funny. He's also a very active proponent of Gay Ocho, and he's great.
Luna.
The best part of IHO, and
Luna.
honestly, the only reason I signed up was Luna.
Luna.
So
That's Luna
girl.
girl.
Princess.
So folks at home, Luna is our mascot pup, and she belongs to the owners and one of the producers here. But we've taken her as our own dog. Like literally, she is my profile picture on my social media. If you go and look, and she also does the FayWhat show with me, where initially it was just me and a gay boy in bed talking crap, which is usually how my life is, right? The only thing missing from that was having a dog. And Luna was like, I'm here for the job. And now people ask me about her more than they ask about me.
She's a star.
She is a star. Where is she?
She's a star.
She's right here.
Oh, she's.
Oh, cutie. All right, next question, okay? Next question. Okay, so we're all excited. It's going to be a great, it's happening out. It's going to be launching the 21st, so make sure that you mark your calendars and you check it out. It's going to be a fantastic time. All right, so next.
There were
So-
cucumbers.
What?
The next picture was cucumbers. I was fascinated. And then you
What
started
did you know about
talking. Got a
cucumbers? You ever stuck one anywhere?
He owns a restaurant. He should know about.
Oh, salads. Salads.
They don't freeze that well.
That's not what but I keep mine in the fridge.
Well, nobody's trying
Oh,
to toss that
wow.
salad, so relax.
Oh. I knew that.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
All right.
Appreciate that.
All right, folks. So toys can be expensive, and they aren't always worth the money. So who needs to pay big money for a paddle when a shower brush will just work fine for a fraction of the cost, right? And as they say, where there's a will, there's a way. So question number 2, I'd swallow that. I'm not opposed to using household items for unintended purposes.
There's the cucumber.
What is that? Something the
sure.
mother,
Those
the
cucumbers
mother
look
of
good.
invention, right?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
Did you say
So,
bottoms up because of the cucumber? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait till you start to use the
I
next
believe all
one.
bottoms need
Yeah,
to
but
be
you
up.
know, that,
That's a cheap
some
way
of
to.
those tapes, they hurt when they.
Well, it's like wax.
when they come off.
Ow, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you go
Me and the
slow,
tape, we'd not be hanging out.
No, you
you
don't
gotta
need to
go
do it real
fast. You
quick.
gotta go fast.
You
Ooh,
Oh.
it's a sperminator.
Oh,
Well, turkey baster, that's how many of my
Baby
parents have gotten
maker?
pregnant.
Yes,
so
right,
I get that.
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hairbrush.
Well, that
confused
hairbrush
about
is
the hairbrush.
special because it vibrates, people.
Serious?
Yes. What? That's a picture
There's
of
a-
my own hairbrush. I'm telling you.
It's just like
But-
you. I know
There's a little
firsthand.
button on the other
I
side.
know
And
firsthand.
shower head.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a good
People-
shower head?
Yes.
Right? I mean, like
It's a
what?
cleansing device.
You
also.
give good shower head. Yeah.
You give
I
the
do give
head.
shower head.
The,
Pink pearls because they have to be pink. They have to be pink.
I
So
thought they were bigger than that.
yours are bigger. Than Those are my size. Leave me alone.
All right.
Don't jump.
I mean, you know.
So, as a Latina and Italian mothers do this too, the wooden spoon. The wooden spoon was used on many occasions in other unintended purposes.
I find the wooden spoon probably sexier than the cucumber or the hairbrush.
Sure, for sure.
And
Yeah,
that
it's
wood,
more
when it
earthy.
hits the butt, it goes
Yeah.
like it's a perfect little.
Like your hairbrush, and all of a sudden it starts to vibrate. And like, well, make up your mind. What do you want to do with me? You want to paddle me or shock
Too
me?
many options for you guys.
It is. Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
What else? What else? I put a leash on my wife once. That was fun. What?
And she bit your hand.
Listen, I have a doggy company, so there's leashes all over the place. And I'm like, what did I just try?
And then you went for a tetanus shot right after.
Was it fun for her too? Oh, yeah.
She
Okay.
didn't seem
Okay.
She didn't. Ella no se quejó.
Wow.
She wasn't mad about it.
That's a good woman right there.
That is a good woman.
Right.
What else? What else do you think?
She has no
you
feeling
think?
from the waist down.
Well, you know,
She didn't feel
candles
it.
are accessible.
Candles and the candle wax are always nice to put on people, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right? Have you ever used something in your house during sex that you shouldn't have, maybe, and like had like a little sexual accident?
Oh,
it was-
what?
I didn't. No.
I
Can't say that.
kind of did.
What
I
did you
kinda
do?
I'm not sure it's appropriate for this show.
Dude, have
but I'll
Write it
mention
down.
anyway.
Pass it around.
Watch the show? Who were you sitting? You watched the show? It's appropriate. Go.
Okay, I'll go. So, you know, I was experimenting with food and ice cream. And then it was, you know, then I did chocolate ice cream and it wasn't like what, you know, it just
It looked
It looked like it looked like
wrong.
poo.
Yes.
Right.
completely get
Or like chocolate
Completely.
sauce. If you have
Yeah.
a lot of like hair and stuff, it's messy.
It doesn't
No, it is
go well.
messy,
No.
yeah.
And those edible underwears, they don't taste anything like
No.
fruit roll-ups.
No.
They're
No,
disgusting.
they're
And the
nasty.
brown ones, they end up looking like what Dan just said.
Yeah, it's not good.
You don't want to
No.
eat that. You know what I
No.
mean? Like,
Yes, it's a turn
no.
off.
And truffles don't work either.
Truffles.
They melt really fast. Not the mushrooms, like truffle, like a chocolate truffle.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work.
With whipped cream.
Anything with chocolate
No.
just doesn't work.
No.
And the thing is, like, you have to like just
Sadly.
get rid of your sheets because it just
Yeah.
doesn't
even
even
get
Or you get plastic sheets. You put, vinyl sheets on.
Do you have
or
plastic
something.
sheets?
vinyl sheets.
I'm very
One of
excited
our
about
producers
this. Tell
said,
me
do you have
about your
vinyl
plastic
sheets? Do you have plastic sheets,
don't.
Greg? You don't
I
strike me as
I'm not that
That's
old
too
yet.
much prep.
Not that old yet.
If you do it in the shower, then you don't have to, that's too much.
I mean, I might get lucky tonight, so I'm going to put a plastic sheet on, and then I'm too lazy when I go to bed, so I'm sticking to the sheet all night.
ew,
No, thank you. I want linen. I want a high count 800-point linen. Please.
Agreed.
And we are not putting any kind of candle wax on.
No, no, we're not. And be careful with
$50
Yeah, you
and you're
can't
not.
ruin it.
and be careful with the poppers, because I know of a story where they may or may not have been involved in it, and it may or may not have opened, and it may have been a three-way, and maybe the husband lost
Allegedly?
his mind allegedly when the popper spilled and
I
ruined their
went to
linen.
a drag queen named Popper Burns. But
That's it, huh?
No, we got it.
Burns.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
No, we got it.
I get it, Greg. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell to do with it, but I got it. All right, let's continue. Next, everyone has guilty pleasures, right? And for some people, it's buying shoes like it is for me. For others, it's trashy reality television. So question number 3, I'd swallow that. I have an embarrassing guilty pleasure.
yeah.
I love the eyeball.
I know, I'm
Okay.
eyeing everybody. I'm eyeing everybody. Okay, so I'm going to talk to the people that don't first. So you don't have a guilty pleasure that like,
That I'm embarrassed by?
that you're, okay, so you're just free and open with your guilty pleasure.
No, like my shoes I don't consider embarrassing. I'm happy to show somebody they come in my house, I'll walk them right into my closet. And they might get a little freaked out about going back in the closet, but when they get there, they're really impressed. They're in color order. Yeah.
In color order?
Well, yeah, you can't mix up the colors. You need to, like, whatever you pick something on, you go, oh, this goes to the brown shoe. So then you go to the brown section.
So the brown
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's white people stuff. Us brown people, we don't get that much money to be doing that. Color coordinating his freaking shoes, folks. And he's got a brown section. I got a black section and a black section. That's it. Got a couple sneakers thrown out, a couple chancletas on the other side, and that's it. This mofo has a brown section. Do you have a taupe section? Do you have like a pink section or what?
guarantee
No,
there's
I'm pretty
steel.
conservative with my shoes.
Conservative.
Yeah, my shoes.
How
are
many
pretty
shoes do you have?
More than
Glenn?
you, more than I care to say. But when I run out of room in the, so what I had to do is when I was buying, especially during the pandemic, and I was on the shopping thing with Kohan. So at some point I had to start getting rid of shoes, which really killed me, because I just felt like there were just too many and it was obnoxious. So I got
Yeah.
rid of some of them.
Yeah, and people,
But
people were losing their homes and their jobs, and you felt a little bit bad about the
Well,
plethora
So let
of
me
shoes
buy
that
myself a pair of shoes.
I have bought more than one pair of the same shoe because I thought they're so nice and they're probably not going to make them again. Because I've had that happen.
There's nothing wrong with
And
that.
something
there's nothing
strikes
wrong
me
with
is that
that.
your shoes aren't cheap either.
Nothing.
You don't go to Payless to get your shoes like I do. Or Goodwill most of the
Did
time.
you hear what they did in Payless in Vegas?
What?
What?
Payless set up a boutique in Vegas, and they were charging like $650.
People were buying it?
People were buying it. Influencers were like, they're like, this is the best quality I've seen in so long.
Because nobody's heard of Payless for like 30 years. That's probably why the influencers
No,
weren't around.
they named it something else. And then
Classics.
as they were checking out, they said, they told them they
2
were
for
being
$9.99.
gypped and gave them the money back and the shoes back, and it was all promotion.
Now that would be a guilty pleasure I'd be embarrassed of.
Right? Okay, so let's talk to Mr. Gregg here. What is your guilty pleasure? I can't wait to hear this. Like,
So I have this thing
Do you,
where
do you collect Shabbos candles?
I do not. I have this thing where like I go
rings? Cock
and I buy things like from my childhood, like I'm recreating the past. So when I was a kid,
You have blue
I
balls.
really wanted this Panasonic radio, which by the way works. It's transistor
cool.
radio. But my parents were like, "Oh, it was too expensive, and you can't have this." And so as an adult now, I'm sort of buying stuff and recreating
love
my
that.
miserable
I
childhood.
love that. It's
You two
freaking
never
sad as
had.
hell, but I love it.
Oh
my
Let me see
God.
that ball.
I
Yeah.
actually.
You like
I thought it was one of those.
You
I
like
thought,
the
no,
chain.
I was like,
Oh,
am I a
imagine
lesbian?
that.
Hell yes,
Yes.
you are. That's what I was expecting.
I
right?
thought you liked the chain the best.
Well,
I
the
thought
thing
that's what you
about
were going for.
transistor
Not that
radios, especially in South Florida, is when your power goes out,
You need
you
it.
can still have a radio and you can listen to stuff on the
Exactly.
radio. I'm just a
On the
little piece of advice
Oh,
there.
I love that.
In some
Well,
of those
you know,
crank
I have a
hurricane, is
radios-
crank up-
hurricane season coming or something?
Yeah, it is.
I
It's
should
already
know.
here.
For 25 years, and I'm like,
In the middle of
hurricane
it.
season?
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that that is the thing that you do, because I actually
So
do that.
cute.
I buy the things that I wasn't allowed to have when I was a kid. I
Sure.
spend a little bit more money on the games and the toys, you know,
Sure.
because I'm like,
And
I always
shoes.
wanted this
And
toy
shoes.
so bad. No,
Well,
you're the
there's like-
shoe ho.
No, but when I was a
I'm
kid,
sorry. I'm
my
the shoe
fa-
ho. You're the shoe ho.
My father made it perfectly clear you need one pair of jeans. You'd like 2 pairs of jeans. You could never needed 2. You need 1.
True.
So that's why there's an abundance
I
of
think I
shoes
need
now.
more than one.
Well, that's what I told him.
for sure.
And so now I have a closet full of shoes.
Yeah, it's like somebody had the audacity to tell me you only need 2 pairs of black shoes. I'm like, what? The strappy, the 4-inch, the 6-inch, the one that ties in the back, the one that zippers in the front.
And one,
I mean, like, you know.
one with a big heel to hit them in the head for saying something stupid like that.
Dare you?
2 pairs of shoes
How
is
dare
sufficient.
you?
I think I'm going to change my mind about it.
Okay, go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
Which
But
means
it's more
you
of
have
a,
a story to tell.
Social?
early experience that I had when I was
right.
a little kid, because we were talking, you brought
Yeah.
me there. I used to enjoy my stretch monster.
Stretch
Was it in your
Armstrong?
pants?
Yeah. And I
Wow.
used to like to chew on its leg.
Wow.
Wow. This is regression therapy.
Right?
Yeah,
Very
I didn't know we were going
It's
to
good in my mouth.
Yes.
What? And nobody knew you were gay. Huh?
Nobody
Nobody
knew.
knew you were gay. They're chewing on a leg of a
Exactly,
big, big,
exactly.
big
Do
toy.
you still chew on things that end up in your mouth? Because that's not good for your sex life.
No. I grew out of that.
All
Thank
right.
goodness.
Well, okay, that was, I mean, I guess to some degree that was your guilty pleasure, chewing on a toys.
You can probably find some like on Amazon or eBay
Think the bristol
too.
stretch?
I know what
Totally,
I'm
for
getting
sure.
you.
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Pre-chewed.
Pre-chewed. Maybe we can get still with the bite marks.
No.
All right, so those were your guilty pleasures. Okay, next, South Florida has beaches everywhere, and now that the weather will start cooling down, that means that we locals can hit the beaches. Most of us don't even touch the beach during the summer times, not even September for most of us. So it's time for us to hit the beach for extracurricular activities, if you get my drift, all
talking
right?
about, like, sex
Question
on the
number
beach?
4, yes. The thought of sex on the beach is a turn-on. The thought of sex on the beach is a turn-on.
Yeah, I'll swallow that in a minute because I've done it.
In
And I'll do it again.
say in the past it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
in the
drink it.
past,
It's happened.
in the past.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
There-
Now it's just a loofah treatment.
Here's the thing. I mean, like, okay, in my 20s, I had sex on the beach, and it was okay, and it was fun, and it was excitement, and it was, you know, after a club. Hello, it wasn't with that guy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Woo!
Exactly.
I would.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Oh, hello.
I will deal with the sand scraping.
Yeah.
Boy, right there.
Mío, papi.
Anyway, but like, you know, okay, you're drunk, you're in the moment, it's hot. Oh, yes, girlfriend.
Wow.
Yes, take a moment, take it in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm into it.
Okay, listen.
Can we go back to the other picture?
Oof.
Too many dudes
Split
here.
screen. A split screen.
Nice split screen. Split screen. Oh my God, he's gorgeous.
He is.
Listen, I wouldn't kick either one out of bed. Let's be
No,
real,
and with the right
all
lighting, they won't know I'm who I am. So it would be
With the
perfect.
right lighting. Listen, give them a garlic bread. They'll go with you.
Uh-huh.
But
A little carrot they
sand
can't
stays
catch.
with you. It stays
Well,
with
and
you.
that's the thing. Like,
Well, that's
okay,
the idea. Is I want them to stay with me.
Yeah, the sand stays with you.
Yes,
okay,
it does.
What do you mean? The
a
thought
gift
of
that
the
keeps
sand
giving.
Well, it stays with you. It, like
Cracks.
attaches to your skin, and it's like a week later, after you think you've scrubbed it all off, there's just one on your toe.
That
It's like
just,
one
that just
on your
means
toe.
you have bad cleaning techniques. That's
You dirty girl.
They're not-
OCD.
You're like,
get home and
Dan are like,
do a
you dirty
rinse.
girl.
How did you even get
be able to
home
get
in the
home good.
car?
Remember that? You just take your shoes off and
bang
your
'em.
shoes
But-
out.
Yeah.
But when there's sand everywhere
And then
else
you would
and you
put
get
a
in the
body
car,
condom
It's
on
stuck
and then
in
start
your
driving.
car. In your
exactly.
they know they
Or to
do,
bring your towel. You put your towel down, but everything is full of sand.
including your towel.
Yes.
Yeah, but for a boy or a girl like that,
Oh,
it
Doesn't
would be
matter.
worth it. You would be like,
Yeah.
screw it, right?
I'd
Okay.
fill my car with sand.
I
And
wanna
actually,
be
I knew
sure
a
that
drag
everybody-
queen named Sandy Knees.
How many drag queens with bad names do you know?
Oh my God.
Sandy knees.
That almost sounds like a really bad dad.
Sandy knees.
Sandy knees.
Sandy knees.
Sandy knees. All right, well, just take that in, America. Sandy knees. For all you folks always on on all fours, there you go. That's for you. All right. Next, Gay Christmas is almost here. Gay Christmas. All right, that's Halloween to you straight folks that watch. All right. So Wilton Manors has one of the biggest parties in Florida as Wicked Manors takes over the entire strip. People spend all year working on their costumes, and then there are the rest of us. Just go on anything and be a ghost. Cut 2 holes out of a sheet. I'm a ghost. Look, I was in Stranger Things. Question number 5. I'd swallow that. I haven't even started thinking of Halloween yet.
I haven't.
yeah, sure.
I'm going to be totally bombed at the end of this. I'm already
That's the point, honey. Get you nice and liquored up so you can end up having sex on the beach. So you guys haven't? Like I've thought about it, and it's like all the things that I watch on TV. I want to be like those costumes. I want to bring something new. But it's like I'm almost finishing Stranger Things, and all their regular clothes is boring as shit. I don't want to be any of the people
But it's like
on there.
70s fashion, so you could kind of like have some fun with the 70s
I
look.
feel like 80s Stranger Things.
80s.
80s.
So you can find
Yeah,
like
but
have
it's
fun
not
with that.
unless you're with
Oh,
the
look,
people that are in it. It doesn't.
Yes, they are. I don't know about the outfits, but they're adorable
They are adorable.
in those outfits.
But I like those group things. Have you
Yeah.
ever done any group costumes with your
Yes.
friends? Do you have friends?
I've done
I've-
one,
I- yeah,
one
I've
group
been in
costume.
Yeah, like what?
But it was
Yeah.
old.
Like what?
Like old school 80s. Like we all showed up as the freaking the California Raisins. and we all were singing, heard it through the grapevine.
Okay.
We were mega nerds.
Okay.
We
and
were-
that was cute. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo would have been cute.
Yeah.
We did
Glenn?
4 Sarah Palins in San Francisco.
For Sarah Palin. So
Yes,
it
there
like,
was the
which
one with the gun, and then there was the lipstick on a pig. It was great. Yeah,
That is so much.
That's
it was a lot of
brilliant.
fun.
That is so much
like
fun.
that.
Dan, group.
We were hose girl.
So you were fireman.
So you basically just brushed your teeth and left the house. And brushed your ass. And then you left the house. That was basically
Well, it was
it.
far.
Like,
Oh my
so you brushed each other's butts.
Yeah.
Looking for sand traps.
I love that. Well, listen, I just love Halloween. I love that for that one day, people that aren't all like out and flamboyant are people that aren't, people are their alter egos that day. The very conservative girl all of a sudden is a hoe and we love it.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And
It was like me.
it was like you. It was like you. And so
And the best place to watch I know.
Tell me where, Glenn.
It happens to be Boner Italian Restaurant because there are windows all the way around, so it's like an aquarium, and people block their tables in advance so they can watch all of them go by. And the
great
first
idea.
year we owned the restaurant, these 4 twinks, they were like wet, this thick as this pen, and they were dressed as Playboy bunnies. And they were wearing nothing but like G-strings, and they had these perky little ass. And they came to the big center window, and they leaned up against it, and I turned into my mother, and all I needed was a Kafka. Get off my effing windows! I just washed them. It was fantastic.
Did they leave aspirins?
They left aspirins.
And do you have candy like to give trick-or-treaters come in? And you
Is that what we're calling it these
Is that
days,
what?
Andy?
I think we should
I
have
actually-
a table reserved.
I try to use a puppy. It's much more. It works better than candy.
All right. Well, okay. There's
I like to get like a can of sardines, and then like.
You are so Jewish.
kids.
Wow, you are that house that nobody goes to. Ever.
Well, I always say boo humbug. I am not
You don't like Halloween?
a Halloween.
Wait a minute. As all the gays at the table gasp. Oh! Pero ¿cómo va a ser? Why? Were you like bullied or upset or like hurt when you were a child in Halloween?
I'll tell you what it was. Growing up in Chicago, Halloween, there could be snow on the ground. So you have spent all year and you make up your great costume, you decide, and then you're wearing your parka over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So Chicago ruined Halloween for me.
Well,
But
Jersey
Papi,
was
how long
like
have you been
that
here now?
for a while. Jersey was
Well, this
like
is
that.
my childhood.
Greg,
ruined
how long have you been here in South Florida?
9 years.
Come on, kid.
Get over it,
like
man.
Yeah.
Put on my
girlfriend.
therapist hat, bro. Get over it.
A girlfriend of mine from Rhode Island wanted to go out wearing a bikini, so she wore waffle underwear underneath. Bikini over it because of that.
Cold.
That's actually really cute. I would have totally gone for that.
Love that.
That's cute.
All right, let's move on. So finally, there are a lot of things that can attract someone to one another, right? It could be eye color, it could be body build, or
Flies.
size of other stuff, or
Flies.
Or
Nice.
shoe collection.
Shoe collection.
or shoe collections, or if they own a restaurant, you know. Okay, question number 6, I'd swallow that. When I'm with a guy, I like, or a girl, okay? When I'm with a guy or a girl, I like him or her to have a really, really big sense of humor.
100%.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's not
Mateo.
funny. That's really good.
Mateo. Brilliant.
All right, so super hot guy like this gentleman on your screen right now, right? And he's got no sense of humor. He's dry as a grandmother's twat. And what?
They make moisture. They make creams for that. Nobody should walk around with a dry twat.
So is that like just like a cutting? Would you continue this relationship with this guy because he's super hot, but he's got no personality or no sense of humor?
Hell no. I can't get past that.
I could get through it to one night, and that's it.
In his defense, in Mateo Lane's defense, he is the funniest gay comedian on the planet.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
Are you getting paid like for this PR?
That was not the question.
I said if
Super
the
hot.
gentleman looked like him, you know, and he's okay. If he looked like him,
Look,
You have to be very funny.
I always say,
and he like made you laugh, like you just would laugh. You just would laugh all night long. Would that be someone that would be more enticing?
Yes.
yeah, laughter is the best lubricant.
Yes,
I don't know,
absolutely.
though, because at first I don't
like
want to
what
be
you did there.
laughing.
At the first,
You know, I would want to be laughing in a
looking-
longer term.
Okay,
but at first I don't want to be laughing. I want to, you know, I actually could probably get into some head trip with the person that wasn't funny at first. You know, like you have to get into a certain head.
I need to.
yes, you do. You need to get all over the head
Yeah.
Listen,
and other stuff.
if there's no humor, there has to be very smart wit.
Yes, which is funny.
That's hard because that kind of goes hand in hand.
Dry wit.
Yeah.
No, listen, if you're witty and you're even a borderline asshole, I'd definitely F you.
Yeah.
Like
See,
she's
I'd like to have
attractive because
some
she is so funny, and she's beautiful anyway.
she's
but
hysterical.
she's hysterical.
Wanda Sykes
You
is.
can spend the
I
whole
would
night
drop
laughing
that
with
woman's
her.
bones in a New York second.
Yeah, you would.
And have her French wife watch.
Yeah, you
Mi
would.
amorenita. She's cute.
Yeah, you would. Who's this guy? He's
I don't know. I
That's
passed.
Joel Kim Booster.
He's adorable. I've heard of him. We've done some stories
Fi-
on him, right?
The Fire Island movie.
Yes.
Oh, right.
He's
I
funny.
like him.
No, and he's funny.
Adorable.
Now that I'm remembering him on that.
Yeah.
No.
Tig.
She's
I love
hysterical.
Tig. And she's so dry. Like, I went to go see her at the Parker a couple months ago, and she just sat there and sang an Adele song for 20 minutes, and the shit was hysterical. She sang an Adele song. She can't, at a piano. She's like, oh, I can't play, and I also can't sing. But I'm going to start, hello? And I was like on the floor. Like, it's just, and that's the thing. Like, one of my first jobs was at a comedy club, right?
Really?
So I've seen everybody back when they first started. Dave Chappelle, Carlos Mencia, you name them, I've seen them. And then I did a little comedy in my younger years as well. Hardest job ever. Ever.
It is
Like,
a hard
it's
job.
to be able to just capture that audience, keep them entertained, have them laugh at all the things, and have them get where you're going. Not an easy thing. I'd rather do this 50 million times, But that being said, now that's ruined me for other comics. Like, now I go and watch other comics, and I already know the punchline before it's set up, and I'll go and whisper it to my wife, and she gets mad because I ruined it for her.
So you're not funny at all.
That means
So
you're
I'm
just
not-
not nice, bro.
I'm not nice.
You're not nice.
I'm not nice. But,
ruin it for other people?
But because of this, it takes a lot to make me laugh.
Fortune.
She's very funny.
Fortune
She is funny.
Brilliant, yes.
She's
She got
also
a weird
very
name.
dry.
What's her weird
Fortune
name?
Feimster.
What?
Fortune Feimster.
Her name is Fortune?
Uh-huh.
See, I knew she had a weird name. I didn't know it was Fortune.
Totally brilliant.
She is really
look
funny.
her
Who's
up.
this cutie?
Oh, I love his curly cues. Oh my God, what a
What'd you call it?
Jabuti?
Jabuti.
Isn't that like a weird sex thing? Oh, that's bukkake. My bad. I was like, wait a minute. And who's this guy? He looks like he's going to do my taxes.
You better be funny.
There are
He
no
would be
funny-
very
Better
Funny
attractive. if he was
because I feel like I'm gonna have to grab those ears and hold on for dear life.
Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to.
Oh,
Is he
yeah,
funny?
grab those ears, all right.
Is he funny? No?
I don't know who
He's
that
got good eyes.
He does.
He has nice
I think
lips.
He's got better eyes for sure.
pretty.
So for
I mean, the lapels are a little extreme, but
But the lines match.
you're big on that. That's why. I don't know.
I mean, you can land the plane on those things.
He was really sexy, but he had these really big lapels.
So
Just couldn't go there.
I gotta tell you, speaking of shoes, there are certain shoes that ruin it for me.
Yeah.
If a guy is wearing a certain shoe, I'm like,
Okay,
no,
like what?
You gotta,
100%.
Like what kind of shoe? I mean, for the event or just in general?
in general.
Okay.
In general, I mean, in fact, I was talking about it yesterday. There was some super hot guy, and I looked at the shoes. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is
Okay,
wrong
but
with
what shoe would be bad? Like a dirty Converse?
It's like
Like an
little-
open
Yes.
Birkenstock? Like
Yeah,
what?
It's like this little slip-on thing that makes a certain sound when you walk. It's like, you know, I just
Like he bought it at Payless?
Damn, bro.
I think actually they're
You mean like
they're-
Toms? Like the cloth ones?
I don't know what
Whatever, your
they're
shoes
called.
shouldn't make noise, so they're not
yeah,
heels.
they're like
Wow.
Turn off, right? The
Really?
wrong shoes.
Wrong
Is that
shoes.
something for you
Really?
too, shoe maniac?
Not if they take them off.
Okay. Like socks were a thing for me. Like when I would meet a girl at a club and then like, you know, boots were very popular. You remember that DJ Nena. So like, you know, and then you take off the boot and there's like a white sock and a pink sock. And it's like, oh, girl.
No.
Man,
No.
like,
Like, no, I'm still going to sleep
Yes,
with you.
yeah.
We're not talking tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
It's gonna be a little
can't.
rougher.
I'm going to be a little rougher.
when
I
you
might leave my
couldn't
socks.
bother
and use them
to
next
check before you left,
Yeah.
that's an issue.
Or you thought no one was, but you knew you're probably going home with somebody, so you think you would have made most
Yeah.
socks. You got to be prepped. You got to be ready.
You got to be ready. Like boys have to be ready.
have to be
like
ready.
they know. They're like, I'm
Can you
not having
imagine
dinner.
if
I'm
you're
going to have
not
this.
ready for that? What else aren't you ready for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. If your shoes aren't okay and your socks aren't okay, then imagine in the middle area. Then that
Yeah,
means
yeah.
that your stuff there probably is not great.
Facts.
I need everything to be on point. I need to
yeah.
everything.
My
Listen.
God.
Do a checklist before you leave the house, bitch. How does everything smell? How does everything look? Does everything match? All right.
The pillows
Seattle
are probably
women are
lumpy.
very earthy.
They probably know all
You
the
never
same
want to
size.
date any of those.
Who?
Seattle women, extremely earthy.
And by earthy, do you mean that they don't use deodorant or they just let their stuff grow?
All of that.
Oh, yeah.
Nastiness.
No, thank you.
A Latina will lose her fucking mind. Oh, sorry. Latina will lose her
Well, I'll
damn
do it for you.
Latina will lose her mind in the city of Seattle because all the women are like that. They're just nastified. Puerto Rican women have no business being in Seattle. I'm just going to put it out there, okay?
And that was
Puerto
brought to you by Travel and Tourism of Seattle. Please join us for the holiday season.
They're gonna find you at Lit.
You know, they're going to be
But
like,
while we're
how
on
dare
tourism,
you talk
Miami,
about me?
not the same, right? Miami is totally opposite, right?
No, not
Come
at
to
all.
Miami.
Come to Miami where the women are very well
You
prepared.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Everybody,
whether they're
I've-
getting something or not.
I've heard from very well prepared. I've heard from boys and girls that like live in California, friends of mine that live in other states that will literally say, "Hey, I'm not skinny enough to go there this week. I'm not going." You know, like, I'm not going over there during the holiday season. I'm not skinny enough. I can't. I'm not pretty enough. I don't got the right clothes. And I'm like, all are welcomed. We allow everybody here. We're gonna talk crap about you, but you are totally welcomed here, for sure.
Yes.
All right. Next up, let's consider our best thing of the week. Gay men love to be shady to each other. You hear it a lot right here at the table, but that doesn't always mean that they don't like each other. So our best thing of the week is when gay men greet each other in public by Michael Henry.
So when you're at the urinals, are you allowed to fart?
Hell no.
But it's the bathroom.
Michael, you're not a urinal farter, are you?
No, never.
Hey, whore!
Hey, trash.
Cruising for street meat again?
Baby, I don't need to cruise. I'm a dick magnet.
Please, when you go to a guy's house, they say they want you face up, ass down.
Yeah, so they can look into my sensuous eyes.
So they can tell you to go home to your face.
You're just jealous because I am the moment and you are a bitch.
Do you want me to get out of this car and slap the hell out of you?
Baby, I'm surprised you could even drive with those two limp wrists.
All I'm saying is watch your back.
Why don't you watch it? Watch my back and my front. See what you will never be.
Plus sized.
Why don't you go shove a stick up your ass?
I'm going to your dad's house to shove something else up my ass.
Well, I hope he enjoys that prolapse.
Michael, who the hell was that?
Oh, that's my best friend. Yeah.
I will never understand.
He is much older, but don't tell him that.
That's Michael Henry, 915. Make sure that you check him out.
I need to follow him ASAP.
He is hysterical. What did you think about that?
Well, do women do that when they talk to each other, or is it just gay men?
I feel like Latin women do that to each other, but women who are not Latin, you would never see them doing
Well, and also in the Latin culture, like we let adults get away with a lot more. So like somebody else's aunt can tell you off about yourself. You know what I mean? Like you will go to your friend's house and somebody's aunt that you've never met, it's like, oh, I saw a picture of you. You gained weight. You might want to do something about that.
Listen, in the Latino culture is to insult you is to love you.
To insult you is to feed you.
Exactly.
Oh,
no, it's right.
Yeah.
So we'll come over to you and say, wow, you look huge as hell. What the hell? Sit down. I haven't seen you in a week.
So it's tough love.
You know?
Yeah, but when it comes to lesbians, I think it's a little different. Like, you know, like for me, like I've hit on women and they still don't get that I'm hitting on them. You know what I mean? Where it's like, wow, mommy, that ass looks amazing. Oh, I got these jeans at Forever 21. Aren't they great? And I'm like, bitch, I was hitting on you. You don't give a crap about your jeans. So I think that the message gets lost a lot when it comes to women.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes,
and
I agree.
And I think that maybe that's why we aren't as shady with each other as gay boys are. I think that you guys are just farther ahead in that comfortableness with each other to tell you, oh, yeah, go F your mom, and then, oh, that's my bestie. You know?
But how far is too far? Like, have you ever
when
gone?
Women get shady, they, 5 minutes later, they're calling their other best friend. Did you hear what she said?
Right.
God.
Right.
Was it me?
Did I invoke that? It's like, no.
You have to process it.
Oh, believe me, they got to talk to 10 people and say, are you sure?
Oh, but is there ever something like you were about to say, Greg? Do you ever go too far?
Go too far with a friend that you ever done that?
It depends how close you are with the person, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, everybody at this table knows that I had a double mastectomy 1.5 years ago, and I've got friends that'll be like, ha ha ha, that's why you ain't got no titties, and it's like, and it's like, wow, is it a little too soon? But then my next breath is cool, man. I make fun of it too. Let's laugh about it. You must love me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
It's a little too.
Do these Spaldings make me fat?
Do you think?
I prefer the Nerf.
But
Softer on the
do you have that kind of relationship with friends?
A couple of friends, not a lot, but a couple of friends that's how we talk to each other.
See, I'd curl up in the fetal position.
See, I have a few friends that I literally walk up and I'm like, listen, prostitute.
Yeah,
Where have you been? Haven't seen you all week. Have you been hoeing every other corner except the one by my house?
Right.
So, there.
Wow.
and that's okay, and it's accepted and it's received.
But they come back and they're just like, well, I'm sorry I wasn't there to wait on you hand and foot. I'm like,
Yeah, they'll
okay,
come back with
well,
something. And that's why they're your girls that way, because you're able to do that.
Exactly.
With you, Greg, you don't have that friend that's like that.
No.
I bet you your husband does.
I have the fetal position. That's what I'm saying.
So that's why you call me, a bully. And when I scream at you for wearing the wrong shirt, you want to go scream and cry.
No. This is a good show. No. I think Rick probably does have that kind of playfulness with
Your husband.
yeah, my husband.
Okay. Well, we need to find you somebody to F around like that with.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll start cursing you out every time I see you.
No, please.
So I now know I can never say that kind of wild crap to you.
I'll be okay.
You'll be okay. Greg has come a long way.
Has he?
Seriously, he's written like 18,000 books while sitting here at this table. Something about muses.
Yeah, something.
Something about that. All right, so next. I was never going to let me host again. All right, next, let's catch up with hot gossip from the world of celebrities in our own segment called Queer Entertainment with Hotspots Magazine. Dolly Parton. Just take that in.
Love her.
I used to have her boobs 2 years ago. All right. Dolly Parton has announced a brand new fashion line, baby, and the items make great gifts for your best friend. All right. It's called the Doggy Parton fashion line, and it offers cute outfits and toys for your pampered pooch, and even a line of wigs, just like the one Dolly wore herself.
No.
Proceeds from the sales of the line go to Willoughby Farms, a Nashville area animal rescue. Our entertainment headline of the week: Dolly Parton's new fashion line is going to the dogs.
Love was my very first record, and 6 decades later, my love for pets is stronger than ever. This inspired me to start my own line of Doggy Parton apparel, accessories, toys, and more with the little Dolly flair. Now, part of the proceeds will support Willoughby Farms, a rescue where animals in need find never-ending love. Don't we all need that?
Oh, I love you, Dolly.
thank
She's so
Dolly.
cute.
Yeah,
Love
that
her.
was
I love her.
fantastic.
I got to meet her once.
I love the way she talks.
So I'm 5'11" and a half, and she's like 4'11". Like,
Oh, yeah.
literally is like a whole foot. And she was wearing the biggest
at
heels I had
those.
ever seen.
Yeah.
You know?
I
So this
love
is some of
that.
the things. I bought Padme that little dress with the guitar and the wig. And I'm gonna get something for my studio dog also, Luna, because they're just super cute.
Did they come in
things.
different sizes?
They come in different sizes. And look at, I thought that would be cute for your dog, Dan, the bandana. And you know, us LGBTQ folks, we love our dogs. They're like our children. You know,
They are.
sometimes we like them more than our children, you know? And so I have a feeling this is gonna sell out like nobody's business. It's Dolly Parton, people.
I mean, she's such
She's
a
so
savvy
cute.
business person, and she's a good person. This is something else. The sales are going to go to a dog rescue place.
Yeah.
That's how she thinks she's so good. She truly is goodness and light.
Have you
Didn't she
interviewed her?
Have you interviewed her?
I have not interviewed her, but there's and then
I clutch my
What?
my
there is
faux
a
pearls.
book coming out in January called "Let Me Say This: A Dolly Parton Poetry Anthology," and it's a lot of LGBTQ poets who've written poems about Dolly Parton.
Oh my God.
so
But just think about it, like the coat of many, what is it? The coat
Coat of Many Colors.
Coat of Many Colors.
Yes.
And she had like that show, I think it was on
Love
Netflix
it.
or something, where they would like talk about the song and like,
Oh, yeah.
oh look.
You look great. I love it.
Wow, you look good as a blonde.
Right? Look, it's the old boobs I had 2 years ago. Look. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Oh, Dolly
know you
Parton,
played
I love
guitar.
that. I didn't know either. So Doggy Parton,
You're a
make
natural.
sure to get something for your pups. Because like I said, I think this is all going to sell out. Just because it says Doggy Parton on the label, it's going to sell out in a second. And it's not too crazy.
I'm buying an outfit for my cat. I don't care
You
if it says
should.
doggy part.
You should.
I'm buying it out for myself.
Halloween.
And I see you in that bandana, Dan.
And it's the kind of branding that Al would appreciate.
Right?
Doggy Parton.
And didn't she also helped with the vaccines, right?
Moderna.
When she came out, right?
Moderna, she was
donated
the
a lot.
one.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow. And
She-
I mean, again, if it's her or the people around her, who cares? Like, you've got some incredible people around you, and you are incredible, because whatever's going on in society, she wants to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form and help.
So-
And let's not even get started on LGBTQ plus icon status that she has with us.
Yep.
That woman is amazing energy all the way through and through. Really, just what a wonderful heart.
And she's been married to the same dude for like ever.
I've never seen the dude.
He exists. Nobody
Does
knows.
he?
How old is she?
Carol.
Not that age matters, but I mean, she looks fantastic. She's got to be like 80,
She's got to be in her 70s.
70s for
late
sure.
70s.
70s for
I'm
sure.
a,
Oh wait, she's
gorgeous.
She'll
Wait,
be
you know.
77, I believe, in January.
It's okay. She's not that old.
Which the book is coming out in time for her birthday.
Love it.
So I think she'll be 77 in January.
oh my God, please protect her. World, protect her. She's a world treasure. We've been losing too many people lately. Please keep her in a bubble or something, or cryo her like Disney. Do something. We don't want to lose her. Okay, love you, Dolly Parton. All right. So each week, here at It's Happening Out, we ask our hosts about what is important to them, what's on their mind. But the twist is that it must be in just 30 seconds, or you will hear this. Forgot about the bell.
I didn't realize it was going to be on my side.
It's like
Right.
not even a cute bell. It's like
No, it's just
No,
like,
but isn't it like horrible? Like, isn't it just? It's just. Like,
yeah.
isn't that disgusting? It goes right into your eardrum, right? And then it just like rings and profusely rings and then goes to the other side, right? And it's just, isn't that awful?
I prefer
He
the
seemed to
movie.
enjoy it.
I don't mind
See,
it.
Dan doesn't mind it. All right, so we'll keep the bell next to Dan. There
you go.
So
I'll bring it
what
for you.
I like
Okay,
about
Lino.
the bells, because usually you push it, someone comes to the desk and helps you.
Oh, at the bathhouse? they have
That's
the
why I
bell?
like it, because I'm about
They used to, now they don't have it anymore. Too many people were touching, and then when COVID came on, they had to keep wiping it down.
Okay. All right. So this segment is called "What's on Your Mind," and we will talk to all our hosts today, asking them what's on their mind in less than 30 seconds, and we will start with Mr. Dan Rios. What's on your mind?
Me, starting first. Okay. What's always on my mind is, the importance and value of home life. We get lost in our careers and our jobs, but it really boils down to all those important treasures, at home and our friends. And actually, this right here, is great night, great experience, and I feel fortunate and happy to be here.
Aw, thank you, Dan. We like you too. Like a lot. Glen Weinzimer, what is on your mind, my friend?
I was hoping I was going to follow someone who was like happier, like funny thing. No, mental health has been on my mind all week, and Faye is well aware because she was with me last Saturday about youth and mental health and depression and suicide, and how we can see the warning signs if they're even possible to be seen. As most people know, we lost someone from our community who's very close to someone even more that we know in the community, and he was 28 years old and just suffered from lots of demons. And so that's been on my mind all week of how do you identify, how can you do something good out of that?
Yeah. So. Yeah, and just giving it some time and space is doing something good for it, you know. Right. Glenn, you just mentioning that on the show does something for someone going through something, saying, hey, I'm not alone, I'm not crazy. That crazy mind in our head is in our own voice, right? So that is like, and we believe ourselves. So when our mind is telling us you're not enough and the world is fine without you, your mind is lying, okay? And you can find help if you need it. There are so many incredible resources. Here in South Florida, we have SunServe that is just incredible, from kids to elders and everyone in between. They help. And
211 is another great one for non-LGBT as well as LGBT.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that with us.
I love that.
Mr. Gregg Shapiro, what's on your mind, sir?
Well, I'm very excited to say that today is the release date of, it's better without my face, of my husband's book. And the book is called Last Call Chicago, A History of 1,001 LGBTQ friendly taverns, haunts, and hangouts.
How cool!
Co-written by my husband, Rick Carlin, and Saint Suki Delacroix. And it's beautiful. There's pictures, and there's text. It's like an encyclopedia, a reference book.
I love that.
But it's also a fun stroll down memory lane for people who've been there. And so it's available on Amazon, and it just came out today.
I love that. Congratulations to you and to Rick.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
I love Chicago's gay LGBTQ plus community. Is it still called Boys Town? I know they had issues with that before. Where as a lesbian, I had no problem with it being called Boys Town, like at all. I felt super welcomed.
Right?
Well,
I loved it. I loved
it was an
being called
LGBT
Boys
community.
Town. Yeah,
that's all it meant.
And I never thought of it as a reference that discluded me. You understand? Like I never thought it was like, oh, that's them not wanting girls or queers or non-binary people there. I never felt that. I just felt okay.
I think they've rebranded it for the name of the street, which is Halsted Street. So I think the neighborhood is really now more known as North Halsted.
Okay. Which does not flow.
It's not as much fun.
No, Boys Town is more fun.
You can't put that on a T-shirt.
You can't. And if you told the cab driver when you got off at the airport, take me to Boys Town, they knew.
Right.
Take me to Hall Street.
I love it.
But was it an official name or just known as Boys Town?
Well, I think
What
it
was
sort of
official?
wasn't really official. It kind of became like that was the reputation because it's a neighborhood within a neighborhood. It's part of a neighborhood on the north side of the city.
It's like one of those stacking Russian dolls, a neighborhood within a neighborhood.
But I mean, you can't miss it. I mean, there are these gigantic rainbow pylons that mark the neighborhood. It's still
and the stadium
very
was
much.
there, right?
The
only
what?
time I went there was the stadium was there.
Oh no, there's no. The stadium is
You were drinking.
south of.
You were drunk. And it's
I
okay.
actually was drinking.
It's okay.
It
No, I
happens.
mean and the gay neighborhood has moved into other neighborhoods over the years, but this is really it's most well-known neighborhood.
Love it. Well, congratulations to Rick. Thank you. We'll definitely be picking up that publication, picking up the book on Amazon, so make sure that you catch it there. Unfortunately, it won't be in any of the libraries here because we can't talk about LGBTQ plus history here in Florida, but don't matter. DJ Nena, what is on your mind, cutie?
I'll tell you what's on my mind. My mind is on the community, especially, and not to exclude the gentlemen, but my mind is on the community of the women. I see a little bit of separation. I see a little bit of too much cattiness going on lately. There are separate, divided Facebook social media groups for different women in different groups, and they are all basically just saying we are only hanging out with this clique or that clique, and they're not coming together, being a little bit more unified as they should be. So I say to you ladies out there, if you're part of these social groups, start encouraging all the other ones to really be a little more kinder to each other. Support all the women, not just some of the women. Support them all. That's the most important thing right now.
Thank you, DJ Nena.
Yes.
Like right now in our state, there's lots of reasons to come together as a community. We should have more that we can fight together on. That you shouldn't have the separation. Like there's enough common. You can go have your little parties with your separate group, but overall, you should be coming together to fight as a group.
I think lesbians need to have more sex. I think if they had as much sex as the gay boys, they wouldn't be so catty and they wouldn't be so ornery and they wouldn't be fighting so much.
I'll do that 20 times.
Right. Don't those U-Hauls vibrate a lot? Those are hard engines, and you really get going in that truck. I can't believe you're saying you don't have enough sex.
Wow. Well, I'm with you. I'm with you, DJ Nena. I hope that women do get together. Unfortunately, I don't think that this is something new. I think that it has been
it's been going
quite
on
a while, which is why in many instances the women aren't as ahead as the men, because we keep on stepping on each other and holding each other down instead of lifting each other up. You know, when it comes to the boys, it's like, hey, come on up, let's do this together. And for women, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that often. So I hope that more organizations like Aqua and stuff like that say, hey, we need to make this our focal point. We need to get more women out there, especially before November elections.
Exactly.
You know, like when women are like, oh, we're passable, we don't need to vote, who cares? No.
No, you're the first person that needs to go outside.
Yes, you and your wife sitting on the couch getting fat. No, you need to go and vote and make sure that our marriage rights stay our marriage rights. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ms. Nena. So next, we're proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m. every week.
I'm James Wallington.
I'm Will Jardell, and we are the winners of The Amazing Race.
We made history as the first LGBTQ plus contestants to get engaged while competing across the world on the show.
Oh, and we also won the $1 million.
And Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
How cute are they?
Super cute.
I wonder if they spent $1 million already. I haven't got my cut yet, boys. I don't know what's going on. Super cute, right? They were on The Amazing Race.
Yeah, and they had the cutest wedding in New Orleans.
And they were planning for it for years, right? Because they were on this show with us before the wedding. So they finally did have the wedding.
Yeah, they were actually, hosted in Miami. They were doing a video in Miami. So I said, you know what? Let's get them up to Queer News tonight. So
do they live here?
No,
okay. They live in Los Angeles, I think. Yeah.
They live like LA boys, but they're cute.
Yeah, adorable.
Not about LA boys, you know. All right, next up, if we were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we would all be talking about. It's our queer hot topic. Life is stressful, and now more so than freaking ever. Rising housing costs, political attacks against our own community, monkeypox, COVID, it's a lot to deal with. And some people turn to drugs and alcohol to try to cope. And I see many people do that, and I can totally see how that happens. Others use sports, video games, or movies to escape. So what are some of the stresses that we are dealing with right now, and what can we do to cope? Our hot topic of the week, how do we cope in LGBTQ+? What do you think, folks?
Well, cope and vote both have 4 letters. And a very big first step is making sure to vote, because the stress level here, and I'm sure in Texas and other places where there are crazy governors, it's at a peak. So vote. You be empowered and go vote. Have your voice heard.
Okay.
And know your voice counts.
And know that your voice
rechannel that energy and do something about it.
That's right. Yeah. And even get out there and encourage people to vote.
Yeah. Go out there and start knocking on doors and go volunteer with SAVE or Equality Florida, and they'll put you to work real quick.
Yeah, right.
So that would be a way that you would cope. Like it's like kind of like doing your part. Like this is me doing my part.
Like activism in a way.
Make me less frustrated. Sure. You know.
Yeah.
I like that very much.
How about sex? I'd rather sex. I'll vote and have sex. That's if the F word is another 4-letter word. If you want to keep on with the 4-letter words, I got to. You know, this takes me back to during pandemic, right? Like when we didn't really have a choice. We had to everything we saw on TV, we were all glued to the TV, you know, and to our social media. Even people that didn't usually watch TV were glued to it because we didn't know what tomorrow meant. We were washing down our freaking food products when we were bringing them home. Remember, we were fighting over toilet paper. You know, we were scared. We were scared of the unknown, and that fear really takes its toll. I know that I go to a couple of AA meetings a week. During pandemic, I went every day, and I needed to. Some days twice a day because I was just so overly censored, or just I was in gloom and doom to the fullest.
Well, you're in your head.
Yeah.
You were so wrapped in our head trying to figure it out. I think laughter is probably the escapism that works best for me.
Yeah.
Funny movies, even if they're ones I've seen before. Musicals, sorry, I had to do the gay thing, but the musicals, I mean, you got a good musical and I am happy. You know, that and a bag of popcorn.
Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but TV can do that. Like, I would have never watched Tiger King led to my own, you know, in my own thoughts. That was because it was pandemic and they were like, oh, might as well watch this weird white guy with his twinks walking around. Why not? You know, but like stuff like that helped me during that time.
Oh yeah, streaming became really popular during the pandemic.
Did you say screaming?
Streaming.
Oh, streaming. I was like, screaming.
And baking sourdough bread. That was very popular. Baking.
You know, there was
People
no
did a
yeast
lot
anywhere.
of-
You
Right.
couldn't find yeast anywhere because everybody started baking during that. But that's a
Did
good
you
way.
bake?
No, I don't bake.
Did
I
any of
hardly
you
cook.
bake?
I'm a big baker, but I didn't because I knew that there was too much sugar in it. And I was trying to avoid it.
I baked some brownies and my wife got mad. We don't have
They
to
weren't the right kind of brownies then.
We don't have to say the rest. But stuff like that helps, you know, like, and that was like during the time that we had to do things outside, you know, like just sending somebody a message that they're home outside was something to do.
I love the drive-by birthdays, like the car.
And graduations.
And graduations when they went past.
Yes. Baby showers. We did everything with the drive-through.
Yeah.
It was
It was
great 'cause I had to
great.
put on pants and I just like still honk, we're here. We love
Don't
you.
get out of the car.
Just change the sign. He
Throw the
changes
food out the
wardrobe.
window. Here's your birthday cake. Enjoy.
How about working out? Did anybody like work out more? Like
That's
during
exhausting.
That time?
I did a couple of things actually during that situation. I was very much a movie streamer, a binge watcher of everything. That was really the most fantastic escape. But while I was binging, I was sitting on my little upright bike and I was like, okay, I'm cool. So I watched movies and rode my bike.
I like that you called it a situation.
Yep. It is.
The pandemic was a situation.
It was a situation.
Yeah, that's a situation.
It was a situation. But the number one thing I did do was I went back to school. I got another degree.
Yes.
And you know what? It was the smartest thing for me to do, not because it was to get another degree. It was what I chose that actually helped me heal. I chose a master's in creative writing.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the assignments that were given to us during, and it was all online, just learning, of course, obviously. They would give the craziest assignments, like write something that happened to you, but add an element of fantasy, you know, or some kind of a twist. So I ended up just churning out all kinds of short stories, and a lot of them kind of helped me remember things that I didn't want to remember, but they helped me deal with them and confront them. And now I feel like, oh, this is good. I evolved a little bit. I recognized things that were paining me and maybe holding me back as a person. So, you know, now I feel that much more lighter.
I love that.
And more carefree.
Did you incorporate hot, sexy lesbians into your short stories anywhere? Because I'd like
Thank
to
you, because that's where I wanted to go, but I wasn't sure how to exactly how to phrase it. Like there had to be some sex thing into that fantasy.
You know what's funny? I'm actually currently writing a poetry book, and I'm not a poet, and this is why I had spoken to Greg about this earlier. I'm like, can I pick your brain? And he was like, oh, no. Greg doesn't like it.
I've written a book.
He's like, I can't be bothered.
I can't be bothered. I'm from Chicago.
No, I'm teasing. But I figured out that you have to find your own voice, your own way. And that's just it. It's not something that you can brain pick as another person.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm writing it and I'm figuring it out as I go along. And thanks to actually Greg was holding a poetry night once a month over at Lit Bar. I met some of his colleagues.
Nice.
And we've talked and we've chatted, and now I'm sharing back and forth with them. And I'm like, okay, but there is a little bit of sexiness going on. And
Erotica is good.
But I'm not good at erotica.
He calls it erotica.
I don't know why we call it erotica.
I call it porn on paper. So
porn on
make sure you
paper.
write some good stuff.
Pop. Porn on paper.
Pop. But, you know,
I call it smart.
Ooh. But a lot of people during pandemic started journaling and writing their stuff down.
Yes.
You know, that's also, you know, powerful and just good for the mind.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
a lot of people went back to church. A lot of people did a lot of, you know, church online, and that helped a lot.
Searching, yes.
You know, me and my wife didn't usually spend a lot of time together, right? And of course, during pandemic, she was in the emergency room at Jackson Memorial, which was like the epicenter of COVID in Miami, right? We're calling it Little Mawang for a little bit. And like she would come in and like don't even air kiss me. Again, we didn't know anything, right? Yeah. Come through the side door, leave all your clothes in the washer, go take a shower, we'll talk after, you know? And so then about a year and a half into pandemic, then she got moved to work from home. And so we've never worked from home together. We've never been in those kind of quarters for that amount of time. I had nowhere to go. You know, I have a doggy business that was also closed down. My hosting events were non-existent. So I passed the time pulling pranks on her.
I like that.
It would just be fun. Like she would come into the kitchen and she'd find me on the floor with like ketchup on me, you know, and she would like freak the F out. She's a nurse, you know, and like not like crazy bitch Faye. What is she doing? And be like, oh my God, what happened to my babies? And then I go, ha 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 ha. And then she's like, that was not funny, you know.
So they were fun for you, but not necessarily fun for her.
Oh yeah, they weren't meant to be fun for her. It was just for me to be okay. And it took my frustration out. And I felt calmer.
But it worked.
That was the topic, right? It worked for me.
Exactly. That was the topic.
Yeah. She wasn't traumatized enough by working at Jackson.
She hates insects. Like she's like super afraid of insects. So I got like little fake ones from the dollar store and like threw them in bed while she was taking a nap.
Oh, you are not nice.
She Cuban flipped out, asked for Castro and everything. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I got to tell you, I ran. I literally ran and I would run.
Before pandemic, Dan was like 360 pounds. Now he weighs 75 pounds because of all the running that he was doing.
Dan is a sexy beast, I tell you.
But I got, you know, more than the physical benefits of running, it was about the mental. It really cleared my head.
Because it's like people, I know runners, and they tell me it's like a meditation almost.
Runs are like endorphins 100%. And stuff.
Wow. So you're running in the crazy streets of Miami where people can't drive, where you can get a permit at 14 and they don't check your eyesight past 70, and you're running down the streets of Miami.
And I literally had to run on the streets because all the people wanted to walk. And the sidewalks in Miami are a little narrow.
Yeah.
So I had to go on the street to run, but hey.
Well, good for you for being outdoors, because I was like, I'm not going outside. So I stayed on my bike. But you know what? I turned my apartment into a nightclub because I couldn't spin. I couldn't do anything. I said, all right, you know what? I'm
Party at one.
I was like, I got DJ mix sets up the wazoo, killed all the lights, threw on disco lights, and just got on my bike and said, yeah.
Do you have any neighbors left?
They've all left.
Listen, my neighbors were very excited about the music. They were like, oh my God, please turn it up. I love that song.
Oh my God.
So I had the best neighbors ever.
Listen, really I know a friend, Karina Iglesias. She was on The Voice, and she is a wonderful lesbian woman of our community. And when she was on my show, she was saying that during pandemic, she would go outside and do shows.
Yeah.
For the people in her community.
Wonderful.
She would just go out there with the speaker and the microphone and take requests and do her own set out there and give those people joy.
I love that.
Well,
I created a movie theater in my backyard. I bought a 200-inch screen from Amazon, connected it to my speakers, and started live streaming. No, it had its own little plug-in, thing, and it would just stay.
Missing from mine.
But it looked like one of those bouncy houses, which was crazy. You know, the little thing. I was like, okay, cool. And the weather was fantastic during that time. It was actually cool. It wasn't so hot and sweltering the way it is right now. And I'm telling you, I was streaming old movies. I was watching When Harry Met Sally. I was
Bueller. You were doing all.
I was doing all the 80s crazy movies, and the neighbors were coming. I'm like, just bring a lawn chair and have cocktails, and we all sat outside and watched movies every night.
$10. You can sit on my lawn.
It was great. Absolutely.
Of course she did. She's Puerto Rican.
Absolutely.
It's got a little bit of Bacardi kick. It works really good.
And how many of you started your OnlyFans?
Oh, my OnlyFans page?
Yeah. No?
I'm still trying to get my grinder back, Dan. Like, they will not give me my grinder back. I don't understand. Like, what the hell?
I had a little kitty cat that arrived during the pandemic.
That's another way.
In the very beginning. And here's the crack up. She showed up, and I was like, oh my God, whose cat is this? She was really cute. And I'm like, Dito, I'll just give her a little food and whatever. I didn't expect to see her again. She showed up the next day at the exact same time. And I'm like, oh, okay, you have a clock. That's nice. So I'm like, all right, girl, I'll hook you up. So I would give her food. Next thing you know, she
Brought
hung
the family.
around longer than usual, which I was kind of like surprised. A lot more friendlier than a typical skittish, outdoor cat. And I thought, I got on the Nextdoor app. Have you guys heard of this app?
Yes.
I love
Nextdoor is the best.
Nextdoor.
Everybody has it, yeah.
So get this. I made a post on Nextdoor and I said, hey, sweetest little black kitten here. I don't know if I can afford her because the truth is
it's
there
pandemic.
There are 3 cats in my house right now. I don't know that I have it. Do you know that all my neighbors DM'd me, give us your address, and they sent me food from Chewy, from Walmart.
That's really nice.
And one woman who I've never met actually sent me a message and said, call this number and speak to this person. You have a $300 credit at this clinic. Get all her shots, everything, and
That's beautiful.
that little black cat became the heart of my house.
Aw. And she's still with you, and we named her Pfizer.
I love her.
Oh,
I named her Sally after when Harry met Sally.
I love your sweet little story that could have been 30 seconds, and you spread it out to 5 minutes.
Sorry, I'm
So
sorry.
we're basically playing. Next, we're just going to play Chop instead of Marry Chop.
All right. Oh, your kitty's adorable. Still, the story could have been 30 seconds. All right.
Well, I'm really sorry.
Oh, my cats are black too. All right.
We're running
finally.
so late, I'm going to have to order dinner now before the restaurant closes.
Finally tonight, let's play un juego. Let's play a game. We have played in every episode of It's Happening Out since our show launched back in September 2019. Before I was on it, so it wasn't as good.
No. None of us were there.
No, it was good. I watched a couple. It was good.
I criticized it.
Of course you criticized it because you weren't on it. All right, so it explores 3 interesting people. Who would you do and why? The game is called Shag, Marry, Chop, and we invite you to play right along with us back at home, all right? So tonight's theme is, I'm feeling faint.
Doctor.
I
There's
need
got to
a
be a
doctor.
doctor in the house.
Is there a doctor in
Is
the
there a
house?
doctor in the house?
So this week we're going to play with local AHF doctor and former adult performer, Dr. Zach Henry. Que lindo. Tattooed Canadian doctor and adult performer. Don't these people make enough money being a doctor?
I'm saying.
Dr. Jake Andrich. Ooh, I don't know about doing
Holy
that dance about a
moly.
12-year-old, no. And hot ex-Mormon, Dr. Jake Jacob. All right, so we've got 3 interesting men right there. 2 have been adult performers in the past, all right? So Dr. Zach Henry is the tattooed Canadian in the middle, right? Yeah, he's
on the
hot.
left.
He's okay, and local AHF doctor and former adult performer, Dr. Zach Henry is the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got tattooed Canadian doctor and adult performer, Dr. Jake Andrich, and hot ex-Mormon, Dr. Jacob on the right. Okay, so we're going to play Shag, Marry, Chop, and we will start with Dan Rios. Who will you shag, marry, and chop?
Whoa.
Who's from Miami? And the one on the far right, Dr. Jake, is from Miami. I
Well, it's a
don't know.
good thing because that's who I would marry. So
Because he lives close to your house, really?
close, convenient. It's not. It's in the stars, people. Okay, so just deal with it. It's
Okay.
in the stars.
All right, go for it.
I would also shag.
No, you're
Jake.
only shagging one.
No. I would marry Jake.
Okay, so start from the
Yeah.
beginning, Dan. You're messing me
There's
up.
2
Shag.
Jakes. Wait a minute. There's 2.
Shag.
Okay. I would shag Jake, the tattooed Canadian.
Okay.
For sure. I mean,
Deal.
those moves are like,
Wow.
I would marry Jacob, the other Jake. So
Got
I'll
it.
take 2 Jakes and then I would chop.
Have to chop Zach Henry.
Yeah, I would.
So what is it about Zach Henry that made you chop him?
It's nothing about him. It's about the other 2 that I really connect with. I mean, the Miami connection is there.
Do you not like bald men?
No, my husband's bald. Yeah. No, that's not it.
Greg's got a very leery look on his face. Come on, man.
Okay. All right, Dan. Okay, so that, and you're chopping him just
Yeah.
because he just didn't make the cut with the other 2
No,
boys.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. So Glen Weinzimer, who are you going to shag, marry, and chop?
I am going to shag Jake Hendrich because
Okay.
I love that. I am going to marry Jacob.
All right.
And I'm going to do just like Dan did,
So
chop Zach.
Okay, so same question. Why Zach? Why are you going to chop him?
You know, he's got the Jewish chai on his chest, which is actually in his favor, but he's just not my type.
What is
nothing
it about him that's not your type? You don't like hot guys with tattoos?
We all have our thing that we consider hot. I prefer a nerdy hot than
Got it.
than a like
With tattoos as well.
Yeah, the other one, Andrich has
Yeah.
got tattoos.
No, and he's a-
I don't love him around the neck, but please, I would, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't kick him out of bed.
No, I wouldn't. He's a little bit too much of himself, but yeah, between the
I
three,
mean,
yeah.
aren't they all? That's why we
No,
like him
that
even more.
doctor seems a little bit more.
No, and that Dr. Zach Henry doesn't seem full of himself with his hand in his pants, grabbing his junk. Not at all.
With his big arms.
He's full of himself in his hand.
That's Zach. Jake.
Mr. Gregg Shapiro, you're up, my friend.
3 for 3.
Shut up.
I
kidding.
would shag Jake Andrich. I would marry Dr. Jake Jacob. Oh, my mother would be so proud. I've married a doctor.
Married a
Doctor.
doctor.
I'm gonna chop Zach Henry. I'm sorry, dude. Two bald heads just freaks me.
Bald head just doesn't work. So why not
A lot of
marry?
headbutt.
Why only shag Jake Andrich? Why not marry him? What is it about him that doesn't make him marriage material?
He's a little cocky and slap him.
He's like, I mean, I could be his great grandfather, so he's like he's way too.
Exagerado, okay?
That's my
He's
dream.
gonna write a book about this. I
He's
know.
gonna write his fear of muses, doctors. Yeah.
We can just put a spotlight on you and black the rest of us out. This would be fun.
What kind of doctors do you think they are? Just by looking at them.
Good ones.
I'm gonna guess one of them's a proctologist.
I would say one's a urologist.
Okay, so DJ Nena, I'm going to you, mama.
All right. Well, yeah, sorry, Zach Henry. I'd have to chop you.
Wait. So So you're gonna, who are you shagging? Or who's shagging you? Or whatever you're into that day.
I'm going to tell you right now. I would only be shagging Jake Jacob.
Okay.
Because that would, for me, would be a one and done. I'd have to marry Jake Andrich.
Okay.
Because I'd want to jump his bones 24/7, 365 days a year. He's fantastic arm candy. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't want that all the time?
So Zach Henry is chopped again.
Zach doesn't do it for me.
4 out of 4.
I like a.
I hope no one's going to AHF for their medical care.
I love it. Sorry about that, Mr. Zach Henry. I would do you. Or I would let you do me, depending on the day and how much drugs and alcohol was in there. He's a what?
Okay,
so
From
all of the sudden,
so
I'd be wearing a strap on that night.
all of a
Zach
sudden
Henry
things
is a
are
bottom.
looking different.
From offset.
So I even like you even more now.
I've just learned some other information.
Just in. Wait. I'm getting this from the control room.
Can I change my answer? My apologies. I wasn't aware that
I feel like
he
Faye
was a
made a
bottom
smart-
proctologist.
No, but I got to tell
I
you,
feel like
So he's an
Faye made a
internist.
great choice here. It's
It's
better for someone like Faye to shag a Zach Henry because Faye looks like a severe top.
Well, I'm a power top, like Lil Nas X.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I am.
So-
There's all power to my topness.
It seems to me that you carry heavy equipment.
I bottomed once and it just was not the same. Anyway.
And you were built
but I got to tell
And
you,
I'm built
these,
that way.
any of them walking in for an appointment, I would be a nervous wreck.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Well, there's this thing called white coat syndrome, right? And like it's a real thing that like when somebody
Yes,
goes to a
the blood
doctor's
pressure goes
office,
up.
their blood pressure goes up. Like, you know, like and I love it. I think it's hot as hell. When my wife wears her lab coat, I'm like, keep that on with nothing under. Just let's, role play right here. So I don't know how someone would feel walking in there and like, okay, take your pants down.
It's kind of intimidating.
But it's not a fun take your pants down. You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, there it is. We played Shag, Marry, and Chop. And before we end tonight's show, we want to thank our sponsor.
Oh, quick prop.
Jet's Pizza. So you have to try the pizza of choice for the LGBTQ plus community, Jet's Pizza. All of it's happening out. Hosts are getting ready to enjoy it after the show. Some had it before the show, Dan.
I'm guilty of that too. Sorry.
Delicious. So we were
So
wondering
yummy.
what the little white thing in the middle was, and what did you say it was?
it's a little table.
Little table. Well,
I love it.
I know the real reason why it's there, and thank you because I'm super clumsy. So I appreciate that. I love Jet's Pizza. If you're ever in South Florida, make sure you go by there. They have incredible subs, really yummy chicken wings, and I've eaten there way too much. All right, I'll leave it at that during pandemic. Also,
You know, one of the
They
owners
delivered.
of Jet's Pizza happens to be a very good musician who I recorded with a few years
the
back.
delivery man.
No, one of the owners.
Oh, I was like, maybe he's
It's
not
the-
that good, right?
It's the delivery man that never left.
He's a fantastic guitar player, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Well, kudos to him. So, folks, it's time to say buenas noches. It's time to say good night. God, that 3 hours flew by, right, Glenn?
Oh, yeah. Just flew by. Just like that.
Stop it! All right, so it's time for our host to say goodnight, and let's hear from our hosts one by one for a final time. A good night from Dan Rios.
Good night, everyone. So great to be here again. I remind you, all things are starting up again in Miami. So check us out at visitmiamilgbtq.com. And I cannot wait to welcome you in Miami.
Yes. And a good night from Glen Weinzimer.
It is always a pleasure to be here. Like you're saying, there's a lot starting to happen. We've got our Smart Ride coming up, so I am excited about that. And if you've never done it, it's life-changing and doing something good for the rest of the world. So
All right.
Good night.
Thank you. And a good night from Gregg Shapiro.
Well, since it's our last, it's happening out with this group. So I just want to say I'm so glad we had this time together.
Oh, I love that.
Just to laugh.
I thought Lucy died.
That was Carol Burnett.
That was Burnett.
Oh, okay. One of the old comedians that were funny.
She's still alive. Thank you.
She's still alive?
Carol.
Like Dr. Ruth?
Like Dr.
Like
Do they
Dr.
hang
Ruth.
together? Do they have like the old folks group of people that people think is dead?
There's a book coming out about it with pictures.
And it's going to be Gregg Shapiro's 9th book.
Don't give the secret away.
Don't give it. Don't give it. All right. Good night from DJ Nena.
Good evening, my friends. Thank you so much for having me. I love being here. And please make it out to Lit Bar because we throw one heck of a party and I'm always looking for new friends. So please come see me.
I love that. Well, that's it. Another week with It's Happening Out. You sat right here at the LGBTQ plus kitchen table as we kikied on all the things that are important to our community. And there's so many things. We talked about frustrations today. We talked about things that make us crazy. We talked about things that make us calm. You know, self-care is so important, folks. LGBTQ folks, we are just attacked from all directions. But you know what? There's love coming at you from all directions as well. You just got to go out and find it. We're here for you. There's LGBTQ folks right where you're at. Where you're watching us right now, there are LGBTQ folks there that want to open up their arms and welcome you into their home and welcome you into their group. So know that, all right? Self-care is so important. You need a day off from work? Call in and say, I need a self-care day because my mind is just not well and I need to just chill. It's gotta be okay. We've gotta take care of ourselves sometimes. We've gotta be selfish in that moment and say, hey, I need some special time, or I need to hang out with my friends sometimes. Sometimes just hanging out with your friends makes everything okay. You wanna lean on over to my...
I'm not, there I am. Aww.
I love you, Glenn.
Do this, wait.
Oh.
Just a hand.
So we invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our LGBTQ plus community important to you? Well, our mission means that we deeply believe it is. Pick up Hotspots magazine on newsstands and all over South Florida. Queer News Tonight, covering the LGBTQ plus news of South Florida, America, and our world is daily and live at 8 p.m. I'm there on Monday and Wednesdays with Al Ferguson. And you can watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and many other television platforms. And our flagship is with you here tonight and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Because remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Until next time, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.